everyone, and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to teach you how to propagate some heartleaf philodendron. So these are great indoor plants. They're super easy to care for and really easy to propagate. So, once you have one plant, you can have multiple. So I acquired this from my work. They had a ton. So I snipped off a piece that was about like a foot to a foot and a half, and I snipped it into 4 pieces. And I honestly should have made it a little longer when I was cutting them, but this is still gonna be fine. It's gonna give me 4 pretty strong plants. When you propagate and you want to cut them, you want to make sure that you cut it just below the little notch right there, because as you can see, that's where the root's going to come out. And I put these in water about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and they've grown really fast. Let me pull out the rest of them. This one, there's that one. I'm going to do this with one hand. This one didn't grow as fast, but it has multiples. If you can see, if you can focus. There we go. And it has a bunch of different roots coming through all the way around. So that one I'm definitely going to leave in the water just to see what it does. Focus. Okay. This one's probably the longest. And it already has 2 vines shooting up right at the intersection. And as you can see on the other side, there's another vine. So it's really just sprouting all over the place. Philodendron do like moderate to bright light, and my apartment only has a few windows, so it's not really a ton of light, but it still is doing really well. And this past week it's been pretty hot, so they've been growing a lot faster with the hot temperatures. But typically they like 60 to 75 degrees indoors with bright light. What's great about these plants is that you don't have to really repot all that often. You can repot every 2 to 3 years. And they get pretty long, they can get over 4 feet long. A suggestion when you are water propagating is make sure you change the water pretty often, because sometimes it can get cloudy or there's bugs that get in. I just put it in this little tiny cup and it's done really well. My rule that I always go by is you want them to have clean water, water that you would hypothetically drink out of. And then when you put it in soil, for example for this one and then this other one, I could definitely plant it today, but I'm gonna wait so the other 2 can get a little bit longer. And you just want to put it in some well-draining soil, just typical indoor houseplant soil. My plan with these is to have it grow over my walls and kind of clip it to the wall. So that'll be in my next project. And they do like humidity. I live in Michigan, so our summers get pretty humid. During the winter it is dry because we get pretty cold in the winter, so I do mist it every once in a while. I usually water these guys once a week, typically on weekends, but I'll check on them pretty often just to see how they're doing. What I've noticed with vines, the way you can tell besides looking at the soil whether or not they need water is to kind of get a feel for their leaves. When they're dehydrated, their leaves feel a lot more flimsy and limp, and they do wilt. And then when they're fully hydrated, it kind of springs back, and it's a lot more rigid. But that's basically the basics of taking care of heart-shaped, heart-leaf philodendron. And I definitely recommend this for any beginners trying to you know, get into growing houseplants because they're beautiful and you can do a lot with them. All right, well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.